Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, y'all? Welcome. It's me, your boy Larry B, coming at you. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know what's good. I had to start things off a little jazzy today because, my lord, today's show is going to be a little jazzy. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, audience. What's going on, y'all? Well, the sports world is on pause at the moment, but IE Sports Radio, oh yeah, baby, we are still rocking and rolling because that's just what we do. Oh yes. Here we go, y'all. Today's show is gonna be a good one. We're gonna have ourselves some fun. We're gonna have ourselves a little sports talk, and then right after that, which is going to be in a few minutes, literally, just a few minutes long, right after that, we're going to welcome in for her first time, and hopefully not her last by a long shot. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be welcoming the lovely Miss Sam Green. If you do not know who Sam Green is yet, you're going to find out today. You're going to learn today, alright? In the words of Kevin Hart, you're going to learn today. Because guess what? She's coming here today to chill on the defining moment. It's gonna be all kinds of fun, y'all. She gets started her brand new YouTube page, Behind the Lights with Sam Green. She is definitely going to be a fun interview, I can feel, because her energy on camera, her presence, it's just, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of fun to conversate with her about how she got started and all the fun stuff, as well as, as well as her normal life, which we'll get into, of course, coming up later on in the show. So, with that said, y'all, I hope you're ready, because it's gonna be a good time. Oh, yes. Unfortunately, the Olympics, I think it's for the best that it's unfortunate, but let's be real, they're heading on over to next year, and you know what? It's gonna be the smartest choice. I am really, really proud of the Olympic Committee for that, because keep everybody safe. You know what? That's exactly what we should be doing right now, keeping everybody safe. NFL free agency has been not as quiet, but it's certainly been, there's been a couple things here and there that we can discuss, but this is just momentarily. And of course, since Sam Green is a baseball girl, we're going to be talking a whole bunch of baseball. Opening day, sigh, it should have been a few days ago. But you know something? It's all good, because we're hopeful that it will come back this year at some point in time. We're hoping. And, well, we're going to get her thoughts on that as well. So, with that said, y'all, go grab yourself something cold and delicious to drink. It's 12 p.m. on the Pacific Coast, so if you haven't gotten your belly full yet, go get you a snack. Be happy! And we will be right back after this.
Motorsports takes many forms, and there's one show on IE Sports Radio that's ready to cover it all.
I sure hope you're talking about you and I, Daryl, because I know the Extra Mile is the best place to go for everything motorsports related.
Yes, it is. From NASCAR to IndyCar to sports cars to everything in between, IE Sports Radio has everything covered for the fastest sport in the world.
Plus, don't forget all of our random shenanigans along the way.
That's right, Caitlin. So for plenty of motorsports coverage and plenty of Caitlinisms, check out the Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio with Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Caitlin Seen, Thursdays at 8 p.m.
I just had to show them some love because, let's just be real, that's always the funnest thing, is to play a drop at the start, especially when it's a brand new drop. So showing love, of course, to the Extra Mile. Big ups, y'all. Miss Caitlin C. and Mr. Daryl Kinsey Jr. getting down every Thursday night. We will be welcoming NASCAR driver Jeb Burton tonight, or not tonight, but Thursday night on the Extra Mile, so be ready for that job. So with that said, y'all, let's go ahead and get on into a little bit of quick news. Miss Sam Green will be calling in a few minutes here, so we're taking a quick break once again. But real quick, y'all, as of today, my all-time, like the big fragrancy hits that I have really seen in the last couple of days, if you will, or weeks. I think if you guys, I mean, I haven't really had a whole bunch of time to actually like look at everything. But of course, I have been asked before, you know, or at least, who was your biggest splash, Larry B? Who do you think made the absolute biggest splash? Who was probably the biggest pickup that you can think of right now when it comes to fragrancy? And of course, we can all say Tom Brady. Everyone can say Tom Brady. But realistically, y'all, I think right now, the absolute biggest pickup, and I'm telling you this right now, I know it sounds silly, but I put them on my I See You segment a few weeks ago, man. I really do think the Bears made a lot of big moves, and I'm really, really excited to see where they're going in this. The Panthers, of course, made so many big moves. Teddy managing that team right now, or being the coach on the field, if you will. It's going to be a lot of fun. And to see those guys compete. So right now for fragrancy, guys, I just really feel like those are the biggest, like the teams who came up the absolute most. Yes, there are plenty more out there, but really right now, I just feel like if you have to ask me, like one or two teams that I think made the biggest splash, or I think really made a good big positive turn, you know, I really do feel like those are probably the absolute biggest splashes, just because it's the lower grade stuff, guys. Have you ever heard that thing? Have you ever heard that old saying, it's the little things that count? Well, that's kind of exactly, that's where I'm at. I think really this has been big. So anyway, y'all, with that said, yes, it's pretty much official now. The Olympics will be moving on. Kind of sucks, but the Olympics will be heading on over to 2021. But you know something, guys? Overall, it's the best choice. It really is the best choice. Olympic Committee, I haven't got the official 100% word just yet, but it's pretty much gonna happen. It's kind of like, you know, watching a shopping cart blowing a car in the wind, and there's like a brand new car like 5 feet away. It's kind of messed up. But I'm just saying, unless somebody intervenes with it, which I don't think that's going to happen, it's, you know, empty parking lot, shopping cart, brand new car, wind. I'm just saying. So anyway, y'all, I think it's inevitable. But that's just the way it's going to go. And you know what? I think that's the best thing to do. So anyway, y'all, with that said, we'll take ourselves one more quick little break. Welcome in our guests on the way back. So with that said, get ready, y'all, because it is Sam Green Day here on IE Sports Radio. That's right. All right, y'all. Well, I will be right back up onto this in a few moments. So you are listening to The Defining Moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, everybody? This is Taryn Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. We are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, here we go. Once again, those were a couple of our brand new drops. Catch gloves off with Mr. Marcus Los Great. He'll be back on tomorrow, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. And of course, Let's Whine About Sports. Mike Pat, all the way from North Carolina, will be on here tonight talking the latest in wine. Yeah, wine. And, of course, the latest in sports. We have Mr. Taryn Rodriguez. That'll be live tomorrow as well. Getting ready to talk a whole bunch of volleyball. And we also do have the Extra Mile. As I mentioned, they will be talking with Mr. Jeb Burton, NASCAR driver Jeb Burton, on Thursday evening, Caitlin and Daryl. So we're keeping the good times rolling. And, well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to bring on our guest for today. And I could not be more happier than to bring her on, because if you have not, we've been posting it all over our social media, and if you have not already subscribed to her channel, then shame on you, number one. But number two thing, you're going to want to go check it out. A lot of fun, a lot of energy, and seriously, if you love IE Sports Radio, you're going to love this channel. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming in for her first and hopefully by a long shot not her last time here on IE Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming in the one, the only, where's my applause button at? I had to go get it real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the one and the only Miss Sam Green. How's it going, Sam?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited.
Well, you are very welcome, and I'm excited as well. I really appreciate you for making the time for us today, and seriously, this is going to be a lot of fun. Watching all your videos and watching you and how you interview these big baseball stars and how down to earth you are and everything. I knew today was going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a good introduction.
You're very welcome, and thank you very much. So, alrighty, well, first things first off the bat, as I have not mentioned just yet, so for anybody just tuning in, of course, some of you may have already identified it, for those of you who have been subscribed to her page for a long time. And for those of you who are just tuning in and you're not quite sure, well, Miss Sam Green is the wife of, picture for my beloved, where's my applause button? My beloved Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. That's right. She is the wife of Mr. Ty Buttrey, and he is I'm very glad to have him. He was a trade last year from Paul Tuckett, of course, from the Boston Red Sox, and it's funny because my really good friend Alex Gaines, which of course a lot of you have heard on here before, is a big ol' gigantic Red Sox fan, so I thought it was hilarious because we talked about this trade when it happened, and I was like, heck yeah, we get a prospect, like we have no pitching, like we need him. So it was really cool. It was awesome. So with that said, really, let's go ahead and jump into some couple questions here, because first of all, I mean, of course, bringing in Ty, I mean, talking about him, I want to make sure it was 100% about you as much as possible. We can get into Ty a little bit later and have some fun with that, but I do want to bring you in because I did want to talk all about you because you have something really cool going on, Sam. So first things first, I'm going to shut up. The floor is yours. We're going to get to these questions and let's do this. So first things first, what inspired you to start your YouTube channel?
Well, it took a lot of steps to turn it into a YouTube channel. I was working at ESPN, actually, while I got traded. It was funny. I was in, the ESPN newsroom, basically, while the trade happened. So I've kind of been on both sides of the spectrum as far as, the statistics side, the editing side, the more serious side. And then, I've also been married and with Ty for quite some time, so I've been through every single level with him. I mean, he went through every level to the minor leagues with the Red Sox. So I've been there every step of the way and gotten to meet a lot of players through the years, and just seeing how down to earth they are and how much there is to them outside of baseball is really what sparked my interest. And working at ESPN and then also being married and interacting with these guys on the side, I really felt like a YouTube channel to bring both worlds together in the best way possible, because I feel like there's a ton of reporting on these guys' stats, but I have a little bit of a nice inside scoop, being a wife and in spring training, living with 3 other guys, and just getting to know these guys off the field. So I felt like fans really deserve to see who these guys truly are.
And you know what? I love how you brought in the aspect of they're just people, they're down to earth, cool guys. And seriously, you're absolutely right. Me, I am a gigantic minor league guy. Don't get me wrong. I love the majors. I mean, I love my team, but I love the minor leagues because, I mean, you of course have been to plenty minor league games, of course, but, isn't the atmosphere so much different at a minor league game?
It's insane. And there's so many unknowns about the minor league side that, nobody sheds light on that. It really is crazy, and you really don't know all the ins and the outs until you kind of live through it, or, you stand by somebody's side through all the levels. It really is just a world that's hardly even discovered, to be honest, by the outside world.
It really is. I'm a gigantic fan of the Lake Elsinore Storm. Of course, I live not too far from here. I'm in the IE, so not too far from you guys. Well, when you guys are there, and you guys are over in Anaheim. But yeah, I just love me some minor league ball, and it's awesome because when you see these guys make it, it's like, oh my gosh, I saw this guy 3 years ago right in front of me. I was sitting for $25 in the front row, and I saw this guy, and now he's signed on to the dang Milwaukee Brewers. You know what I mean? It's so cool. You really
definitely feel like you have a special connection, almost like you know them, because if you're a true baseball fan, if you follow the minor leagues, they'll give you that. And just to, it's rewarding to see these guys be called up, because it's like you had an invested interest for years, and you had the patience and followed his journey along with them before he made it. So it is rewarding.
It really is. And I absolutely love it. I mean, me as a minor league guy myself, of course, playing football, but today, like I said, today's not about me, but I totally know what it feels like to be in the lower leagues and to have to earn your keep. So I definitely know that firsthand. It's crazy. But okay, so next question up for you is what was so this is going back now. We're reaching back to young. Well, not there, not young. Let me say to youngster Sam. We're talking the elementary, middle school, high school days. What was really your dream career growing up? Was broadcasting something you always had interest in, or did you even think of doing that whatsoever?
Within the realm. As a little girl, I always wanted to be an actress, but I definitely met Ty. I met Ty at 16, and the drop everything and move to Cali and live penny to penny and eating soup and ramen noodles, and it sounded ideal to become an actress. And I fell in love with sports after dating Ty. So my interest kind of shifted to broadcasting then, because it was my life too. Our lives literally revolved around baseball, from where we live, when we vacation, what side of the country we're on day to day. So it really kind of reinvented the wheel in my head once I found Ty. But I definitely always had a little love for the camera, I guess you could say.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're definitely doing on your YouTube channel. It is awesome. Realistically, we're gonna get to that in a few moments. We have to, but once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are listening. If you're just tuning in, we are talking here live with Behind the Lights' very own Sam Green. Go check it out on YouTube. Don't leave the interview, but if you're on another device right now, just go subscribe. Just go do it. Just type in Behind the Lights Sam Green. You'll see her channel. She does great work. But okay, so awesome answer, and I can totally see how you can fall into each realm and kind of what motivated more, which I can totally see that too. Like, media, I feel like, is an acquired taste, don't you think? Like, to get into this?
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
It's something you gotta love to do, and it seems, you definitely love to do it, it seems so, because, like I said, your interviews are awesome. I wish I could interview like you, trust me. I'm trying my best to interact, to channel my inner Sam Green right now. I'm trying.
I appreciate it. You're doing a good job.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, okay, so next up, I gotta ask, was baseball your favorite sport? Was it, number one, is it your favorite sport? And if it wasn't, what was your favorite sport growing up?
Biasly now, yes, it is. It's my everyday life. I eat it and breathe it with my husband, so yes. But no, growing up, football was always on TV, and Sundays were always a big deal in our house. So, it's easy to be entertained by football. Baseball, it takes, I would say, an acquired taste. And I felt like the more I got to know the intricate parts of the game, the more I fell in love with baseball. That there's so much more involved, even just on the mental side, once you really get involved in it.
You know what? You're absolutely right. It's funny because I'm telling you, everybody from friends, it took me a while to get into baseball. It really did growing up. And then when I started to really appreciate it and learn it, I started to love it. But you're absolutely right. Football, it's something I played for 16 years now. The action is not hard to find in football,
Yeah, exactly.
In baseball, it's kind of like, okay, cool. Okay, so what happened? Oh, it's a strike? Okay, cool, strike. You know what I mean? It's like a...
yeah, exactly.
It's, and then it's like one thing happens. I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. And then it could be another 3 innings before we get a large crowd, insane.
Definitely have to pay attention, that's for sure. It does get long and drug out. But, once you know what you're talking about and, you know what to look for, I think that's what makes it really interesting. Is before, I would be more concerned about home runs. Now, with being married to a pitcher, I love watching people's fastballs. I love watching the velocity. I love, seeing how many strikeouts per innings they have, and just, keeping track of their ERA. It's fun, and it's kind of addicting now.
Isn't it? It really is, and it's crazy. I love that, how, I feel like it's the same deal. Of course, I'm not married to any major leaguers, but I'm just saying, it's the same thing when you start to look at other aspects of the sport. It's not just about, for instance, I love how you can relate that. I can relate that same exact thing. When I was a kid, I loved to watch football because, okay, touchdown, yay, it's exciting. They do a dance and everything. But now, since I played defense, almost my entire life. So now I absolutely hate points, and all I want to see is a 3-0 game. I just want defense, So,
absolutely.
It's pretty funny, but absolutely, that's pretty awesome though. I like that, how you have the evolution of becoming a real big diehard fan, and now really getting into. That's awesome. So okay, so with that said, I gotta ask. This is not on the list of questions, but I just gotta ask. Since you grew up football, who's your team?
Oh, my dad and I just got into a really big debate over this, honestly, on Facebook. And I never debate on Facebook. I like to leave all that stuff private, but it's actually funny. So I'm born in New York, so my dad is a major Giant fan. Our whole family is. And I grew up Panthers fan because I was raised in North Carolina. But now that the Panthers have gotten rid of all their players, I really don't. I'm kind of in a crisis right now because I'm more of not a diehard team fan. I'm more of a diehard players fan. So losing Greg Olsen, losing Luke Kuechly, and now they're debating about freaking Christian McCaffrey and letting him go, and we got rid of Ron. Like, I'm kind of in a little bit of a heartbreak, and I honestly don't have a real answer for you right now because it is the Panthers, but if they get rid of McCaffrey, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Hey, you know what? I think Saquon Barkley and Chase Daniels would like you to wear some Giants gear. I'm just saying. They may.
Yeah.
They may like that. And I can tell you right now, I am a huge Riverboat Ron fan. I love him. I think he's a great coach. Olsen is probably one of my all-time favorite players in the history of sports, just because of he's a good man and he's a hell of a player.
Oh, I know, I love him.
He's a great guy. And I mean, you guys had, I can remember the Jared Allen days. I mean, Steve Smith, you guys.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
It's something. And now it's like, wow, no Cam, no Ron. So I totally get it. I mean, I think the Panthers really came up big in free agency because they've just switched pretty much everything around. But if you're not a fan, like I said, if you're more of a, well, like you said, if you're more of a player type of fan, then you know what? Hey, I think that's exactly what a lot of people will identify as, is, you know what? I love these players, this player. So you know what? It's not, I'm gonna rep that team and that jersey because my player that I really like is on there.
It's crazy. And I guess part of that probably comes from interacting with these athletes. And the Panthers, too, I danced in NBA for the Hornets. I know I'm skipping ahead, but I ended up getting to intern with Cox Sports Broadcasting, and we got to interview all the Panthers and the Hornets. So, like, I was in that locker room, like, every season for, like, 3 seasons straight in college, like, with those original guys. So, losing them, it's like, you know, I guess being connected with Ty and all these guys, like, whenever a trade happens, it's like heart-shattering. It's just a trend, you lose the role model, you know, so it's just, I definitely am a players person.
And you know what? I think that's great. I think that is so great. And yeah, absolutely, yes. I'm excited to talk about that in a little bit too. Your career with the Hornets, like, that's super cool. Like, I'm telling you, you're like a Renaissance woman. Like, you do everything.
Pretty much. Like, I'm all over the place.
It's awesome. You really do a lot, and I think that's really neat too. I can't wait to get to that in a little bit when we talk about the Hornets. But okay, so let's go ahead and just jump through the rest of these then, because yeah, that's exciting stuff. So really quick, growing up, did you play any sports?
I was a dancer, so, you know, that debate is dance a sport or not, I don't really know, but I was a competitive dancer, then I danced in college, and then I danced in the NBA. I ran track and stuff, but honestly, like, I just had no desire. I'm a little bit more of a Chris, I guess. I rather watch the sport than play it. So, yeah, really dancing was my thing.
That's awesome. That's really neat. You know what? We the head of our PR department, actually, she danced at Duke, and she's a dancer as well. She teaches her own classes and everything, and it's pretty cool because she's gonna love hearing this. She's gonna she'll probably want to friend you on Facebook. She's gonna love you.
Absolutely. It's sick school, and their dance squad is really good. So that's actually really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, she's a diehard, and that's really cool that you did that. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and I just want to dive into that already. So. Okay, I mean, what was your beginning with the Hornets? I mean, how did you end up there? I mean, what's kind of the story with you and the Hornets, on their dance team?
Yeah. So I grew up in North Carolina, as I said, and I ended up going to UNC Charlotte, which was just 30 minutes from where I was, raised as a kid and throughout high school. And a lot of my competition dance friends were older than me, and they ended up going there. So, I signed up and tried out for the college dance team and made it, and had a really fun year with all my friends on the team. But UNCC football team was new at the time. It was only, I was only 2 years old by the time I was dancing. So, the crowd and the hype and the talent wasn't really there, so I kind of lost interest. And the Hornets were very local to my college. It was only a 30-minute drive, and I knew a couple girls on that team as well, so I just gave it a shot, and there was 500 people that tried out, and I just kind of didn't even know what I was getting myself into, and wound up on the team and did that my sophomore year. So it was pretty crazy.
That is so cool. So it was only a year you were on the team then?
Yeah. So I was 19. I was the youngest girl on the team, and then from the Hornets, I was actually interviewed by who I was speaking about before, Cox Sports Broadcasting, while I was on the team, and he, liked my interest in media and stuff, so he offered me an internship with him, so I stepped away to be able to get into media.
Oh, that is so
You can't
cool.
do both, so.
Yeah, but that is awesome that you were able to. Wow, I mean, that's really neat. So, how was that experience in the NBA? I mean, I of course, I'm over here as you can tell, right? I'm over here in Southern California. Of course, I'm a big old Angels fan. So, I love my Lakers. I am a Laker fan for sure, and I love of course, going to games. I mean, I think we all love our Laker girls, and it's like something that like you're a part of the team, like you really are, even though you're not the ones out there dishing assists and alley-oops and throwing threes. I mean, it's like when they come out and dance, like it's like, oh my gosh, like we love them just as much as our team. And I mean, how was that experience feeling that from the fans?
Yeah, dancing on that court, there's no feeling like it, honestly. Like the energy and just like a full stadium. I mean, you really feel like, I guess, a rock star, and I can only imagine how those players feel. But I mean, the Hornets had such a great fan base. I mean, they really were all diehards and grew up in the city and just good hometown fans. And man, when that court would light up like that and they'd introduce us, I mean, there's adrenaline running through your veins in such a positive way. But on top of it, we were able to like go out into our community and do a lot of community service too. I mean, it really was like one of the coolest experiences ever. But I'm most thankful for it because it got me to where I am today.
And you know what? That is absolutely, I can totally understand that, because it's true. You have a very cool type of, how you got to this point. I think it's awesome. And the best part about this is that you're absolutely right. It led you to where you are, but it's like, you're so you can tell you are comfortable in front of the camera, and like I feel like you being a dancer and like kind of being in front of people your whole life is something that it feels like to me, if I were to have to answer that, like if I could answer that for you, I guess in a way, I guess you just feel comfortable, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it definitely took some work. I always did feel comfortable, but I guess it is a little bit of an art with reflection in your phone and things like that. So the best opportunity really was presented to me for my career, I guess, to help get me to where I am, was presented by Alex Curry, the Angels sideline reporter. She gave me a contact of this lady called Marky Costello. Comes from a very famous family, but she teaches broadcasting hosting classes in LA. And so while Ty would be playing every single Tuesday, I'd sit in LA traffic, go to the class and sit in 3 hours of traffic on the way home too. So it definitely does take the I would say people either love the camera or hate the camera automatically.
You know what? You're absolutely right. It's either, once again, going back to that wonderful phrase that I think we're going to be throwing around for a while, acquired taste, right?
Yep.
That's awesome, but you certainly have it. I'll tell you what, your videos are great, and we're going to get into a few of those in a little bit, because there were some questions that I absolutely loved, like, from your videos that were funny, but it was like, we'll get into that in a little bit. So, okay, so real quick, you literally just, I think you summed up everything that you're going to say for this next question. I know. Okay. You're from North Carolina. So I think you over there, I think all of you, would absolutely come to California and go, what the hell? Because the amount of traffic is more ridiculous than like a ballerina wearing like gothic people boots. Like, I mean, seriously, like it's ridiculous. It really is. I mean, to get from one place to another is ridiculous. You just have 3 hours of traffic. So my next question is, and like I said, I think you answered a lot of it already, but the next question is, how do you and Ty like Anaheim? Are you both excited with all the new addition? Oh, sorry. Well, we'll get to the Angels momentarily, but real quick, how do you guys like Southern California?
I've always wanted to live in California. I'm obsessed with it. So I went one time in the 8th grade for like a dance and modeling thing to California, and literally ever since then I've always wanted to live in Cali. And I was sitting in ESPN until I got traded, and immediately I was like, I gotta go. This is my time to live in California. So I left ESPN and just picked up over my love for California. So obviously I'm a little obsessed, and probably drive him a little bit crazy over it, because every day I'm like, gosh, I just love it here. I'm just so happy here. I mean, it's really indescribable. And he has a love for it too. It's funny. So the first season that he was traded over, it was like the end of the year from the Red Sox to the Angels. So he was there without me. I was still finishing up work before I, could head out there. And so while I wasn't there, we didn't experience anything besides the stadium. I mean, it was sleep, get up, because he was so new, such a rookie, and being called up with all the pressure. He didn't explore, and he was just worried about baseball. So he didn't see what I saw in California, because all he saw was the stadium. And if you've ever been to Arab Stadium, it's a beautiful city, but there's not a lot around it. So he didn't until I moved out there, and we'd go to breakfast, and we'd go to the beach, and we'd go do that. And now he's totally in and obsessed. He's like, man, I can't believe for months I didn't see any of this. It was under a rock. I'm like, I know, I told you. It's really indescribable how pretty it is out there.
That is something. I mean, you know what? I'm happy. I am so happy to hear lots of positive, because don't get me wrong, okay? I know people love Cali, but unfortunately, sometimes I'll listen to interviews and you hear interviews with. I remember one time I was listening to a NASCAR interview, because I just love sports. I love all sports, and I'm a huge NASCAR guy. And I was listening to I forgot whose podcast it was, but they were interviewing a young driver from the Xfinity series, and they were interviewing him, and they asked him okay, well, how do you like the track? And, I love the track, whatever. Okay, so how do you like California? He's like, the people are rude, and it's just a lot of traffic, and it's I like the track.
I think the people are amazing. I think everybody's so nice. I mean, I don't know. Everybody, when they meet me, they're like, how you doing in California? I'm like, oh, I'm obsessed. They're like, yeah, we always knew you were a Cali girl at heart. I'm like, I know, I really am.
That is awesome. And hey, welcome. And trust me, I hope you and Ty stay here for years to come, because like I said, our pitching is... Next question. Anyway, so I'm happy trust me, I'm very happy we have him, because pitching is literally the only thing the Angels need to be extremely good. So in my opinion, that's my opinion. So your opinion is, are you both excited with all of you guys, the Angels actually made some pretty good transactions in the off season, and some things kind of came together. What do you guys think right now about a couple, in general? I know I don't want to get too personal with that, but what are you thinking right now with the Angels? Are you pretty excited with all the pickups, especially the skipper?
Yeah, I mean, we're stoked. I mean, I know it's easy for me to say we, as if I'm on the team. I mean, I'm stoked, and I know he is. I think the whole clubhouse really is. I think anything new to change up a vibe and change up the clubhouse mentality, and any moves to make that they make in retrospect of to win is only a positive. And I feel like they are making that shift, and I think it's reviving up the clubhouse environment too. I think everybody's stoked. I think they all have that win mentality now. They all know what they want. They know, they haven't been in the playoffs for a while, and they're really looking at that World Series and trying to build a team around it. So I think everybody's stoked, and we were also excited for new. And last year was a tough season between Skaggs and all that went down and all this new change, that everybody was excited for a freshman start this year in honor of him. And then, things kind of got put to a halt. So now we're all anxious to get, all the newness and the camaraderie and the new roster together. So we're just counting down.
Exactly. I am totally with you. I was so excited. And me, I'm like the dude, I am always there. You'll see me. My section is over there by the waterfall. You'll see me.
Oh, yeah? Nice. Yeah, I love that area.
Right? It's great. I love being at the Big A. I am a Angels fan through and through. I love being there. And, it's with any of my teams. I live and die with my team. That's all there is to it. Go down with the ship, and then when they're doing great, it's hey, that's my team no matter what, if they're doing good or bad. But with all these additions, I'm telling you, I was so psyched when we acquired, Ty in that trade, and I was like, okay, yes, prospects, because prospects are something that you don't get to see until unless you're there, unless you're right in the area, to see these guys play minor leagues, you don't see them, so I'm like, okay, numbers, ERA, you know what I mean? So I see this guy, and he it's awesome, I see him, and Whoopsie, sorry about that. Okay, did we lose you there, Sam? Sorry about that. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I actually have a funny story on that. Time might kill me for it, but when we were in ESPN, or when we were in Connecticut off season for me working at ESPN, we were like at a local restaurant board watching Red Sox game, and he was obviously still the minor league and baseball was still on, so we're sitting there and they were talking about Kinsler and two random guys at the restaurant, and Ty's like, yeah, you know, who'd they trade for him? You know, like, do you know who they traded for? And the guys were like, nobody, literally nobody. And they were like Northerners, and obviously Ty was the trade, so we were like dying on the inside. And Ty's like, yeah, probably some schmuck in AAA or something. Probably, you know, nobody good. Like, lo and behold, it was him. So it was fun. It really is funny, like, that nobody does know these minor league guys.
That's messed up. That's terrible.
I know.
Poor
he did
guy.
it to himself.
Poor guy. That's terrible. Well, you know what, though? Like, I'm happy to have number one. And number two thing, look, and I'm going to say this on air, and I doubt you're listening, Ian, but Kinsler, we loved you, buddy. We loved you, man. You're awesome. We appreciate you. Awesome. And thank you for your time in Anaheim, but we need pitching.
Hey, no hard feelings. I'm thankful we ended up in Cali, so I'm thankful for Kinsler. So.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, I mean, I love him. I'm so happy we had to have him for the time we had him, but it's just like a football team. Like, if you can add all the pieces on defense and make the defense nasty as you want and offensive weapons, but if you don't have a quarterback, you're not winning games. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
We need pitching. So I was super excited to acquire once again to acquire Ty in that trade, and that's kind of that really sucks. That's you know, that little story.
We find beauty in it, though. Look, I mean, he can do what he wants and play ball, and, you know, we can still enjoy our life and stuff to eat without being bombarded. So we live the best of both worlds. It's Bullpen Mafia. So
Bullpen Mafia. I love it. And you know what? You guys are. I love it. I tell you right now, it just feels like yeah, you both of you belong here in Cali. So please stay. Do me a favor, stay here. Yeah, please.
Thank you. I agree.
You're welcome. So, with that said, I got to hear this. So, what would be your favorite thing about living in Southern California right now? I think you've already answered that. So, what? And if you wanted to go ahead and throw something else up on there, but what's your least favorite thing?
Definitely the money. Obviously, I mean, one, the taxes. You know, getting our checks cut in half every time. Kind of stings a little bit, but and the rent prices being really high, and you know, you don't get a ton for your money in Cali, but you know, the benefits is the weather and the beach, the mountains. I mean, everything is just right there, and there's so much to do outdoors wise. But you know what, the small place is worth it because you're hardly inside anyway.
You know what, you're absolutely right. Short story, I used to work retail when I was in my undergrad at Tilly's, and it's funny, I remember a guy telling me one time, we were talking somehow about geographic locations, I guess, around the country, because we had some people from out of state, and he was like, you know what, man, I love this place, because what other place can you go snowboarding in the morning in the mountains and go surfing in the evening? Like,
literally. And like, it not be a full day of travel. So,
it's so true, and I love it. Great atmosphere, but the traffic is annoying, and yeah, the money.
Oh yeah,
it's oh my gosh. So yeah, I totally agree. So okay, so how has it been interviewing all these baseball players over the last few months? I know you only have about 5 videos up, but every single one of your videos are awesome. Like every one of them, I can watch over and over. You are very welcome. So please, once again, the floor is yours. Take as long as you need. Talk about these videos. Talk about a couple of your interviews and how has it been this whole experience so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, these guys have been incredible, and you know, for somebody starting out new like me, it's really nice for these guys to take the time out of their day, especially for some of these bigger name guys. I mean, it's, you know, Logan Allen taking the time out of his day, and all these guys just trusting in me to, you know, not make them look bad, but to make them look good, and here to, you know, support them. And so I want them to be able to show the side of them that they want the world to see, and that's really my main goal with this, is that I just love the core things that make the players who they are, and if that's what they want to show the world, I'm just being a body of media to be able to set that up. It's really been surreal. I mean, it really came up this concept and it's been 6 months for years for it to have come to life these past couple months. And so, a lot of traction on YouTube and the English reporting by Fletcher interview on Twitter. That was a crazy moment for me. So, 5,000 views on some videos for only a couple months being up and running was pretty cool. And hanging out with these guys and stuff, and I would have thought that I'd be more to interview these guys, but they're so they're so funny, and they're there to have a good time, and they all bend over backwards to make sure, we're on a field, or, or whatever they do, getting the credentials, and they run around and so it's really not like it. I die to do this every day. Like, I just can't wait for my next interview. So I only have a couple videos out, but we have been doing a lot behind the scenes. We have Michael Copeland coming up to about speaking of NASCAR, like you like, we have stick through Paul Swan coming up. It was such a fun interview. Getting into a little bit of tennis, we have Jack Stott coming up as well, and then a little twist on things, we have Anderson Simmons' wife coming on for a WAG edition, Gabby Simmons. So I'm excited about this stuff. But the best part about getting to meet with all these people is just seeing their different personalities and what makes them who they are.
That is awesome. Okay, so real quick, so unfortunately you broke up right around the part where you said NASCAR. Okay, who was that again for NASCAR?
Austin Dillon's pit crew, so nobody ever hears about the pit crew. It's like the bullpen guys. So we have Paul Swan coming on here soon.
Oh, that is awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, I love that. That is super cool. And that is great. And that is so neat. And then Anderson Simmons, I mean, I guess it wouldn't take a rocket science to figure out that I'm a huge fan of his, right? So
yeah. Great guy.
And I'm sure he looks like that, like, super chill kind of person that's like, what?
Totally. And she's a pip. She's hilarious. You'll see her interview. She's so sarcastic and giggly, and she actually has her own small YouTube channel, too. She does a lot of makeup tutorials and things like that, so she's a fun one, too.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. See, lots of great things to look forward to. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just tuning in, you have, missed the better half of an awesome interview. But of course, this podcast is available pretty much wherever you can find podcasts. I don't even want to go through the list right now. I'm going to take too much time. But once again, we're interviewing Miss Sam Green. She, of course, as we have mentioned time and time again here today, is the wife of Mr. Ty Buttrey. And she is a former Hornets dancer, I believe their names. You guys have a name, right? The Honeybees, right? I believe.
Honeybees, yeah.
Honeybees, that's right. She's a former honeybee. She just does everything. And of course, she is now she started her YouTube channel, and that thing is going to take off. I mean, that thing is going to light up like the 4th of July on Christmas. I mean, seriously, like it's going to get bigger. I'm telling you right now. It's great.
Well, I really hope so. I hope everybody else likes it as much as you do, so I appreciate the support.
You're very welcome. And hey, you got support here for sure. We will definitely promote the heck out of you, and I think it's great. I love it, and you certainly have a knack for this. So, okay, so with that said, I don't try to keep you forever. I'm sorry, but this is just going so well. I love this. So,
I'm good. I got nothing to do. Look, there's no baseball season here, so take your time.
I know, right? I'm like bummed. Like, I'm sitting here like, okay, the crappiest part too is on the Angels, every year I do it with all my teams, but on the At-Bat app, like, you can upload the calendar onto your calendar on
on your phone.
On your phone, and it sucks when I wake up and I'm like, oh, you know what I mean?
Playing Astros at 7 p.m. and it gives you an alert, and it's like, no, they're not.
It's so true. It hurts. Like, it hurts. Like,
it really does.
It sucks. Like, I think to myself, like, wow, I would have been like, I even think to myself too, like, this is kind of hilarious. Like, I'll be thinking to myself, like, coming up, I know they would have been away this past weekend, but for instance, like, and of course they would have been on the road this week as well. But coming up this weekend versus the Astros, or what should have been against the Astros, I guarantee you, on Friday night, I'm gonna think to myself, like, okay, well, it's 5, so I'd be leaving my house right now. I'd be on the 91. You know what I mean?
It's so true. No, like, you should see my planner. Like, a lot of the wives, like, we planned road trips to go on, and I was gonna go on the first couple ones. And what I'll do is I'll do like a multi-city ticket. So I didn't book anything, thank goodness. But in my planner, I had like one way to Texas, and then from Texas to Detroit, and then from Detroit to here, and then back to Cal, like, to make the most of it and get a couple trips in. And then my cousin lives in Detroit, was going to stay there for a while, and it's like all these plans. I know everybody's been talking about travel plans being on hold, and it's really especially with baseball travel. I mean, I'm like, no, what city am I going to get to go to this year, if at all? So, you know, the crazy side that I never thought would not happen.
Right? I mean, seriously, this is really getting annoying with this dang virus. I mean, go the freak away already. Like, don't take baseball from us. Like, this is ridiculous. Like,
right.
It's getting.
Hey, they're not essential employees, apparently, so.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, to me they are. I'm sorry, but whatever.
Right.
I'm sorry. If I'm selfish, forgive me. But, but it's so true. And, okay, so you know what? This wasn't even a question on here, and I wanted to ask this anyway, but I figured, you know what, if we had time to do it, but I wanted to ask you this, too. Okay, it's on the road, of course, for any other sport. Well, I mean, as a football guy, I guess on the road isn't really much. But, you know, hockey and basketball, 82 games, they're on the road. But, yeah, no, it's a lot, but it's not. Okay, 162 games in baseball. How does this work? Like, okay, I know, like, are you constantly out there? Are there some weeks you just sit out? Like, how does it usually go when it comes to you guys being on the road?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the wives just try and base it on, like, what cities they like the most. Last year, Ty being a rookie, we submitted a lot of our finances to saying, like, all right, like, I'm going to get out there as much as I can, because as a rookie, you know, you don't know how long it lasts or whatever, so we just decided to embrace the moment and get me on as many flights as I possibly could. So I got to do a lot of traveling last year. As far as this year, we were going to save a little bit more and not do so many, especially with me being busy with Behind the Lights. There's plenty for me to do in Cali, but we really base it a lot on, like, how long their road stances are. Like, if he's on the road for only 3 days somewhere, like, it might not be worth it flying from west to east for $800 plane ticket and only, you know, just a quick turnaround in a Sunday game and then having a travel day. But I try and do a lot of multi-cities, so I'll stack it back to back. So if I am flying east, we stay east, and I'll fly, like, from one state to the other and then back to California. A lot of the wives, we try and do, like, one big trip where at least everybody goes. A lot of people do New York. All the wives' favorite, pretty much all the wives, I don't want to speak for them, but their favorite location is Seattle, and I actually didn't like it like everybody else did. So, yeah, it really just depends on where people like to go. Boston, New York, and Seattle are probably, like, the three biggest, like, wide travel, I would say.
Wow, Seattle, the place where it never stops raining, and okay, that's...
Yeah.
Interesting, but you know what? That makes so much sense, though. Like the cities where you want, of course, New York. I think, that's got to be on the list, and Boston, of course. But what a trip! And I'm pretty sure. I mean, okay, you're in Cali now, but I'm pretty sure like a lot of the wives want to come to California.
Oh, I bet a lot of them from the other teams. I mean, a lot of people have kids, so that west east route is not ideal for a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people on the road. You know, we don't really know the other wives unless, you know, we played on a former team with them. So, I mean, I can't speak on behalf of other teams. I don't know how many people actually travel to Cali, but I would assume so, because if it was me in their position, you know, I mean, we preached enough about my love for Cali. So I definitely was quite way there.
Well, I think, yeah, absolutely. It seems like it really does seem like Cali would be a big destination, but I think that's awesome that, you know, like, the others, hearing the other, because I've always wondered that, like, how do these families do, like, the 162 a year? But, okay, well, that sums up everything for me right there. I really think I got, like, literally, and it's kind of like what I would think, but you don't know until it's solidified. So at least from your perspective, I think that's good enough. That's more than good enough for me to know, like, how that works.
Yeah, a lot of people ask if we travel with the guys. You're allowed, like, one flight per year on the plane, so, like, the rest, yeah, it's up to us, so.
Absolutely.
Travel.
That is so cool. Well, okay, so now we're getting some of your videos, because your videos, like I said, they're entertaining as can be, but they're also really, like, informative. So, in your interview with Logan Allen, that was probably, like, one of my favorite things, because one of my favorite interviews, and I loved the questions. They were awesome. I loved every bit of the interview. But then there was this one point of the video where good old Logan Allen looks down and is like, oh my gosh, like, I'm stressing out so bad over your shoes right now.
The whole time he was having a heart attack over it, and I'm like, what? What's wrong?
You got on these white shoes and you're just cruising around like no big deal. It's cool. Like we're walking in dirt. I don't care. Like you're just, chilling. And he's like, he's having a mini panic attack and he literally just says it. And it's funny because then you expose, he actually exposes it, that he had, I think, what did he say, 84 pairs of shoes at the hotel. And he has like, I don't know how many at home. Okay, so I gotta ask you this. Number one thing, how was your response? I mean, I know your response in the video and everything, but if you want to further go on that, like, whoa, that's quite the shoe obsession. And number two thing, do you have that many shoes yourself?
Absolutely not. Like, that one white pair, like, those are my feet. Like, you'll see them in every interview. Like, I'll probably buy another pair eventually when I wear them down too much and on the field. But, like, no. Like, I'll find a couple good sturdy pairs and I wear them to the stuff tomorrow. Not really a big shoe person. I'm a big sneaker person. Like, I love a good pair of like sneakers that I can wear anywhere, but no. And yeah, my response, there was so much more that, I mean, I started talking to him about his shoes for like 10 minutes because I was so in shock. And I told him, first of all, like, I pack our cars for travel, so I know the difficulty of like bringing the essentials, because when you leave for spring, you leave for the whole year. You don't get to go back home. You don't get to pack up. You get one shot, leave your house, pack everything up, and ship it for basically 8 months. So I can't imagine the priority of shoes in a car. Like, I struggle with, like, Ty and I are like, all right, we get like 5 pairs each. You do 1 pair of sneakers, 1 pair of heels, 1 pair of flip-flops, like, it's definitely a prioritizing situation, and his priority was 85 pairs of shoes. And I told him, I said, Logan, there's not even 85 spring training games. Like, what are you going to do? Wear multiple shoes per day? And he's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And I was like, oh, Logan.
He was so animated in that interview.
Hey, he loves his fashion, though. He always says if he could do anything other than baseball, he wants to create his own clothing line. So I'll be first to rep the white sneaks on the field for him when he makes them.
You know what? That's awesome. And you know what? Look, good old Logan Allen, man. He, the $100 bill thing is something that's going to be with him forever. And I love how you brought that up with John Cena and the $100 bill. Like, isn't that like a very unique story? That is so awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, and the funny thing is he became known for it. I mean, little kids were handing out $1 bills to have it signed by him every time after he came off the bus. And I told him, I'm like, look, I know you get asked this all the time, but I'm doing you justice. I didn't ask about the John Cena dollar. So, I mean, it's really just unique, but it goes to speak on Logan's character. I mean, he's so friendly, not just in the baseball world, but in the world in general. I mean, he really loves charity events, and he really puts himself out there and gets to meet a lot of guys. So, I mean, I think it's just a good representation on who he is in the baseball world. Absolutely, and I don't know why I said 100, but yes, dollar bill, and yeah, he that is really a great way to describe him, because absolutely, he is that kind of a guy, and it was just really cool to see that interview. I was like, oh my gosh, she got to interview Logan Allen, like, whoa, and it was everything, honestly, it was everything I expected it would be. It really was, like, I thought it was great, so, yeah, he's really good at interviewing, that's for sure. Yeah, he really, like, he can do that one day, I guarantee you. He can be like an analyst one day when he retires. He'd be amazing. I hope he does. You're really right. So, with that said, there was another one of your videos that you literally just did last week, and seriously, I have got to ask this, because here I am, linebacker, defensive end. I love me some delicious food. It's in my blood. I'm pretty sure Ty loves him some delicious, juicy meat as well as I do, a nice big steak. And, you got to not only interview, but chill with while he was grilling, and, taste that amazing grill that while I was watching it, I was envious of you for like 5 seconds. I really was. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. But it was amazing. So your last video you just did last week with Jack Arnold. Number one thing, if you can go ahead and let everybody know, I can go ahead and inform everybody, but I do want to know real quick, how did you find him the same exact way that he said everybody finds him on social media? So it's funny because the Charlotte community, like, we didn't really realize it until everybody kind of graduated. It's really, really tight-knit, and there's a lot of media powerhouses coming out of the Charlotte environment, so it's really a smaller world there than, I guess, what we originally thought. After leaving, we're like, man, I know that guy, man, I know that guy. So when I was dancing for the Hornets, I knew a lot of the Honeybees, so I kind of knew him through that, and then we just had a ton of mutual friends, but we're actually really close to him. I mean, we go over there every time we're home. Jack drills for us, and it truly is even better than what it looked like. And I kind of branched out there on my YouTube channel. Not as many views because it wasn't my niche, but I mean, Jack to me is an athlete in himself. I mean, he grills every single day. He's out there, and then he cooks for the Panther players. So I don't know, just such a good guy. Really is that good at food, and got a special place in our heart because we're really big foodies. So, yeah, I mean, really the meeting him was kind of just mutual friends, and yeah, the social media frenzy in Charlotte.
That is awesome, and he is, that's really cool how you got him on the show like that, and how you kind of, you already knew him. But I just think, oh my gosh, looking at how he prepares these steaks, and looking at, I was on his Instagram account, I seriously had to stop. I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna have to go get food right now. This is ridiculous. He's
it really is, and he has so many tips that you would never know, and thank God for him, because now Ty's so much better at grilling because of him, and we get Snake River Farm steaks, and we get all the nice brands sent to us too. So he really does good with those companies, and those companies are very giving with his whole crowd and support group. So, I mean, nothing but blessings with food there.
Absolutely, and yes, I love that, and that is pretty awesome. We actually have a quick question here from the chat room. Our very own, from our PR department, as a matter of fact, our very own Taryn Rodriguez. He wants to ask you, what have been your most memorable Angels/baseball experiences?
Ooh, that's a really good question, so you need to let them know that was a good one. Definitely Ty's debut is the most memorable. I mean, I've been with him since the ground up, and, just, I don't know why I never let my head go there while we were fading. Not that I didn't have faith in him, it's just that that's such a hard level to achieve that when that day really happened, I was just a disaster and a mess. I mean, it was the coolest experience I've ever seen, and I always said I didn't even care if it was that game alone, that he played. Just getting there was, a dream come true for both of us after standing by his side for all those years. So definitely debut is most memorable. Interesting or funny? I don't know. Just getting to know the guys on a personal side and getting to tease them outside of being Ty's by, I also get to be their friends, and we're really close with Justin Anderson and Taylor Cole, and just getting together with those guys and shooting crap kind of thing, and teasing them is the best part, really. I mean, they treat me like a sister, so Angels is a great organization, honestly.
That is so cool, and you know what? I agree. I just feel like there's this it's a small market. It seems like it's always been family. All of our players are so freaking friendly. And it's funny because everybody knows, of course. And of course, here we go. I'm gonna mention the name where if I say it, I don't know. There might be a group of girls walking by the window and screaming when I say this. But of course, the legendary Mike Trout. Being on this team, he doesn't want to go anywhere else. The moment he was like, no, I'm going to sign and stay here, I was like, oh my gosh, I love you, dude. Thank you, because this club, we're close, but we got a little ways in front of us. We got something coming in, but you know what? He could have easily gone somewhere and been like, you know what? I want that ring next year. No, he's just so committed. So if you can see...
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, the best player in baseball, of course, in my opinion, I think a lot of people will say that. This guy right here went ahead and said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to be... And look at Ohtani. He's like, I want to play for a small market. He could have gone to the Dodgers, but he didn't. He went right to the Angels. So it's just that family type of atmosphere. And like you said last year, I guess I really... it even sucks to bring up, but... terrible thing last year, of course, with Tyler Skaggs, but the moment on the mound with the jerseys, I mean, if there was ever more of a touching moment, I mean, seriously, just, you can see how tight-knit this club is.
Absolutely, and just going to touch on Mike, too, I mean, it really just speaks to his character. He really is that good of a guy off the field. It's nothing's a show. I mean, him and his wife are just been incredible blessings in my life, and down to the jerseys too. I was actually with his wife. We were going on a mission trip to Belize when that happened, and we were sitting at the airport and, in tears, obviously, watching it all happen. And then we actually happened to be at gate 45 in LAX, so out of all terminals. I mean, it just kind of hit home for us. So we got to soak in that moment, even though we wanted to be, with the girls and hug on his wife at that game. Just really does all go to show what a tight-knit family it really is. And, before traveling with Ty, I always thought, didn't know what to expect from a baseball life, maybe thinking it's a little bit superficial or nobody really cares and just does their own thing. But at this clubhouse and with these group of girls, I mean, it really is just everybody's there to support because we're with them more than we're with our own family. And so we really do call it a baseball family. And every year it's harder and harder to say goodbye for the off season and, people getting ripped from you with the trade after just being friends with them for years. Like, it really goes to show you, like, we all understand each other's lifestyles, and I think that's what makes it such a family-oriented environment. So we really are blessed for everybody that baseball's introduced us to.
I love that. That is probably my favorite answer of any question ever in the world. Like I love that answer because yes, that is exactly what it is. And sports will do that to you. And especially if you're a part of an organization like that, I think that is absolutely amazing. And by the way, our very own Jonathan, man, Couch Crew Chief, he's, welcome in, John. Glad to have you in here. But Jonathan's a great guy. He's our booking agent, of course. I'm so happy he was able to bring you on the show. I'm so happy. I'm having a great time. And, big shout out to Mr. Jonathan, by the way, our booking agent here at IE Sports Radio, and he says in the chat room here, he says, I love that debut photo Sam posted on her Instagram. That is so amazing. You can feel the excitement. He says there's a weight to that photo.
Oh, there is?
I guess he says he loves that. He says that photo that you posted.
I thought you said a link. Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, like I said, that was definitely the most memorable experience. I was just going to say, I was actually, so it's a funny story behind this view. I was still in Connecticut, obviously, and his brother and sister were really, really close with, and his brother-in-law, I should say, and his sister, had a work trip, and we were meeting up in Pawtucket, ironically, because he was playing there, and we had everything scheduled, and he got traded. And so I still met up with his sister and brother-in-law. We still hung out, but we were at dinner, come home, and I was like, guys, I just have a feeling I'm going to be driving to see you guys, and, the call is going to happen. I just have a feeling, and then we're going to be together and fly out, and lo and behold, he calls us at 2 a.m. that night. We didn't get any sleep. His sister and I drove all the way up to Boston. I was in panic mode, so exhausted, didn't have any clothes on me, none. Had to go to the store. I mean, I had winter boots in the summer on, and I'm glad that he liked that picture because I judge it every time. I'm like, gosh, my hair wasn't done, that skirt was too big, my boots, just a mess. I was on 2 hours of sleep, my hair isn't curled in the back, yada, 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 but lo and behold, everything behind it is a really special memory.
Oh my gosh, what a way to remember that. It's kind of funny, but you know what? At the same exact time, I mean, you can see those awesome moments of beauty, no matter what, right? Just those moments, and that's awesome that you were able to capture that. So that's so cool. And Jonathan is a big fan of that photo. So,
thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah, Greg, Jonathan's a great guy, man. I love that guy. So with that said, I got to ask another question too about once again, right back to the videos. How was it interviewing David Fletcher at 11 o'clock at night?
Man, that guy is a character. I mean, everybody on the team always explains how funny Fletch is, and that really solidified what everybody always said about him to me, because I was, giving him an out, I'm like, Fletch, you really don't have to do this to me. 11 o'clock at night, dude, that's late. And what people didn't know was the next day was the very first day that he was reporting spring training. So he didn't care that he was up late, wasn't worried about his sleep. He's like, no problem, just come on over. And he was in a family friend's house, and his wife, who I love, was there and leaving the next morning too, and literally just got back from an escape room. They went to a 9 o'clock escape room or something and came home at 11:30, 11, and I just could not believe he was that nice and didn't care. It's to stay up there. Ty is a fanatic, about sleep, got to be, very regimented. So to me, it was a shock that he was really willing to do that at 11 at night. And the reason was the best part.
That is the neat. It really is awesome. That's so cool to hear that about him, and it's cool too because I love how you were making I love how you literally gave his wife her own segment without her even being on camera because you went ahead and talked about what she does and she's a dancer with her studio and everything. I thought that was pretty cool, and I love how you even asked him and he was like, "Okay, now I got to answer questions about my wife." I
guess being a dancer, I just think it's so cool. I would love to own a studio. And one part that I didn't even get to talk about on air was that she teaches his sister, too. So the twins own the studio. David Putcher's sister dances at their studio. They're in Cali. They're all drivers. I mean, it's just such a cool situation. And I know I'm biased to the dancing, but, yeah, he's funny. Just doesn't even know how cool it really is. And, I mean, California is prestigious in dance, so to own a dance studio and keep those doors open is insanely hard. And for their studio to, be as big as what it is and as good as what they are, it's I'm a fangirl. So I probably drive her crazy because I'm when's your next competition? Can I come to the studio? I'm such a fangirl. So it's just funny how the guys are so clueless with, our lives and our status.
That is crazy, but you know what? That is so cool that, it's a different world, and you know what? It's true. I love how you said that. That it's something Sam again. We'll give her a quick ring back, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's been a little issue here with the reception. Not a lot. It's been pretty clear for the majority of it, but yeah, as you can see, it's cross country, so we'll blame it on that. But all right, Sam, we got you back.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's all good. Like I said, it's okay. I'm blaming it on cross country. It's okay. It's okay. So, but that's so cool. How you brought that up, about being, but once again, about having that bias, because it's true. You don't know until you're in the beast. And I think we can all relate. Once again, you as a dancer, Ty as a baseball player, anybody, broadcasters on TV, even myself as a football player, doing my thing. Honestly, we can all relate that being in front of people, that we can all relate that aspect. But when it comes to the singling out aspect of why football, why baseball, why dancing? It's then it's a completely different world, and it's unless you're in the beast, I feel you can respect it and love it and have all the love for it, but it's kind of unless you were somehow affiliated or you did it yourself, that love and passion is kind of just far and beyond from anybody else. Does that sound about correct?
So true. I like that, yeah. And one segment that I'm excited to start, we're going to try and, up our content as far as how many videos we produce per week. We're going to try and get out 2 here soon, but I'm going to pick up a vlog style with the wives because there's so many working wives in this world that nobody knows about, and it's truly impressive. Especially in the minor leagues, a lot of these wives are the breadwinners, and nobody has any idea what they're doing behind the scenes. They have no idea that they've been doing long distance with their husbands for years, so I'm excited to get that segment up and rolling here soon. And there's so many wives that even produce new jobs based on their husbands being in baseball. There's a lot of, I've been working a little bit with a couple Instagram accounts run by wives who sell a lot of baseball clothing, including Live Love Game Day and Game Day Chic. And it's just really impressive how baseball inspires so many jobs in so many ways. And, there's a lot of lawyers, there's, nurses, there's medical sales. So that's something I'm really excited to tap into.
That is super cool. Seriously, I would never even have thought of course you can think of there is a different aspect to it, of course, with, as you mentioned, the wives, and you're right, the regulars of how you would never really know, but it's just so cool. They're a completely different world. And for instance, me, the Storm, the Lake Elsinore Storm belongs to the Padres, and it's it's single A, so it's these guys are, my gosh, it's pretty low, and it's crazy to think oh my gosh, what about their families and what they do? So that's really neat. And honestly, I am gonna love when you do that series. I cannot wait for that. That's gonna be so cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot behind the baseball world that people don't see. So that's what I'm hoping to get out of this, is showing everybody the unseen moments, for sure.
And that right there is the most important thing. That's what the show's called, the defining moment, and that's what you want, those defining moments. So yeah, I literally called today's show the defining moment, Sam Green edition. That's today's show.
I love it.
So, we've got a couple more questions here. These are going to be pretty quick, actually, but the first one is really annoying, and I think we've already touched on it a couple times. But with this stupid virus just, taking its toll on our beloved sports, and people, but our beloved sports. Right now, how do you feel? Are you pretty optimistic? I don't know. Don't know if you could speak for Ty, but I'm just saying, are you pretty optimistic? Do you think he's pretty optimistic that we're going to have baseball this year? Or are you guys kind of like, okay, we're playing it by ear, but if worse comes to worse, or we're like, no, we're going to have baseball. Where are you guys at?
We got to. I just can't fathom the thought of, there not being a season no matter how short. I don't know if it's going to be double headers every day to make up for it. I don't know if I don't think it'll cut into off season for physical reasons. I'm mind blown that it even got this far. I cannot believe something really postponed games like this. I feel like even if it's playing without fans, I feel like there's no way there's just no season at all. I don't know. I'm kind of speechless with that thought.
It really is. I'm right there with you. I don't know how we can't not have a season. It would literally, it would hurt. It would hurt to not have, and it's
it would hurt. We'd make history, that's for sure, and we'd be a part of it. But yeah, I can't even imagine.
Exactly. History in all the wrong ways that you don't want to make it. So, I just, oh my gosh, I don't want to even think about it. All I'm thinking about every day
is,
right? All I'm thinking every day is, you know what? It's okay. Because hopefully tomorrow we're going to get some news that things are getting better and we're going to get sports back, that's...
I know. Everybody, side note, to throw back in those two companies that I was talking about, the Live Love Game Day and the Game Day Chic, they're selling shirts right now. I've been wearing them too, Wake Me When they first of all, they already had these shirts and they brought them back because of Corona. So they had shirts that say, Wake Me When Baseball Season Starts, and that's something, I had that shirt before this all happened and they relaunched it all, so they have a lot of funny shirts about all of us being surprised from baseball, so definitely check those out. It's hilarious, and it's so true.
I love that. That is so cool. And yeah, it's right. I saw that on your Instagram, as a matter of fact, right? That's on your Instagram, that shirt?
Yes, I love those companies. They're funny.
Right. I definitely would like to, I would totally grab one of those, because that is so neat. And it's it's something that... there's comic relief in it at the same, because it's you know what, in such a crappy time, it's we gotta have some kind of something, and I don't know, I think that's really neat, with their, somebody can make a shirt or something to just be okay, we can reassure that we can all just breathe, and it's gonna be back soon. It's for a positive note.
So true.
So,
yep.
So final question here today is, and this is kind of what I think we've dipped on it a million times already today, but you know what? This is just a great closer, because with everything you've summed up today, literally everything, I just gotta ask, with your with your channel right now, I think you've already mentioned, your main goal is to bring out the backstories and bring out behind the scenes what people don't see, but also, what else? What would you say? You can say numerous ones, but with your channel right now, I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be a great success. What would you say is your overall main goal for this channel?
Yeah, I'd say, on top of, I guess, what I was saying before with showing athletes is my purpose, but my goal, I guess, would be for a show to not buy me out, but almost sponsor me. So, I know Netflix and Hulu now buy out a lot of YouTube channels and, pay for these YouTubers to produce their shows with the Netflix and the Hulu crew. So, to be able to be picked up by a really big, media powerhouse, and to have higher quality production, and to really get this word spread on a high platform where, it's not just having to search on a YouTube link, but for it to be right there as a show and be advertised for the whole world to see would be my ultimate goal. So, whether it be I get acquired by a news channel and I become, a internet series for them, or, like I said, the Netflix or Hulu series, something like that would definitely be my ultimate goal.
That would be awesome. And once again, there's no doubt in my mind, you could actually, definitely achieve that, because, that's our goal too, to get picked up by somebody big. But at the end of the day, you know what? It's incredible. nowadays, social media, I mean, we created this entire thing of iSports Radio that's been around for almost 6 years now, and it's incredible because we've done it all through social media. So, like, the power of, like, yeah, I'm even writing papers on that right now, like, in grad school, and it's like, I always come to that same point. Social media is powerful, you know, so it's so cool to hear, like, your goals with this, and it just goes right along the lines of that same exact saying, or that same exact quote, that social media is powerful. So I think that is awesome.
It's really crazy, though, because I'm, like, right on the age brink. Like, I just turned 24, so I'm, like, right on the brink of, like, I did not grow up with this. I mean, I grew up with, like, in high school having MySpace, so I guess I was, like, the generation of, like, first social media, but, like, I mean, it's another whole world now it's just amazing how many businesses have been produced just based on social media. So yeah, I think it's only been a positive.
Isn't it? I mean, it is something else. And it is really mind-boggling to think, like, wow, this all happened from social media. Like, this would have never happened if we wouldn't have something like social media, or even, you know, I mean, when we were both tiny children when the internet was made. You know what I mean? Like if...
Side note, real quick, I had a question for you, not to interrupt, but what are you studying for grad school? Because I'm starting May 4th.
Wait, hold on. Let me go ahead and where's that apply? I mean, the applause button. I guess that's right. The applause button has been hit for you because that is amazing. Awesome. Okay, so I am studying strategic communications, and it is, thank you. And I always, this is kind of a bad thing, but I sub, of course, at my old high school, and I coach at my old high school. And as I mentioned, I'm playing, you know, pro ball, and I'm just doing so many things at once, managing iSports Radio, doing this whole thing. And I always refer, thank you. I always refer to, when I tell the kids, like, I'm in class and everything, I'm like, okay, cool. So this is what we're gonna do today. Cool. Okay, so do me a favor, don't get too loud because I'm just doing my thing over here. And I always seem to have a nice little name for my grad school work. I always tell them that, okay, so students, just chill today, and, you know, don't make too much noise, because I'm currently in the seventh circle of hell.
I'm sure they love it. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Absolutely. Like I said, I always have a cute little name for it. I always like to say, like, yeah, I'm currently right now in the seventh circle of hell, otherwise known as grad school.
Yeah, so true.
But you know what? It's okay. It's tough, without a doubt. It's tough, but honestly, it's like anything, like with sports, and especially with you being a dancer. I mean, you have an athletic background, so it goes back to that old saying: you only get what you put in. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's tough. It's definitely tough because it's not the work. The work isn't like extremely hardcore, like I want a 300-page paper due by today at 4:00. It's none of that. But it's just a lot of it, I guess, is what it is. It's just the, what am I trying to say here? The weight of the work, or shall I say the density of the work is really,
right, yeah.
It's just a lot of it. So that's awesome. So what are you studying, by the way? What are you going to be studying?
Yeah, so I don't start till May 4th, and I was, like, dying to start sooner because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so bored. Like, you know, besides behind the lights stuff, though, like, now would be the perfect time to be knocking courses out. But it'll be here shortly. But I'm actually found a 100% online degree for my master's, and it'll be in media psychology. And this small university out of Santa Barbara called Fielding, they're the only ones that offer a master's in media psychology. So just want to understand the brain of my audience and the people that I interview, and I feel like the more I understand the brain, the better off this will be. So that's kind of the goal.
That is really cool. Oh my gosh, that is really, I know you're going to do great in that. That is so cool. And wow, out of Santa Barbara, I've never heard of that. That must be a teeny school. Like that must...
Right? I'm like, okay, I want to graduate and fly everybody out, or I want everybody to fly out so we can have a party in Santa Barbara. Like, I love Santa Barbara.
Seriously, yeah, Santa Barbara and Goleta, those two cities next to each other, they're really, really nice. Like, seriously, it's a really nice area, and that is so cool. And yeah, I'm a proud Lancer. I don't know if you've ever, I'm pretty sure you guys haven't. The baseball world is so big, but I'm probably going to try and ask him on the show, but I have a really good friend of mine who, well, I wouldn't say really good friend, but him and I had a class together, and we got really cool because he is an athlete, I was an athlete, and his name is Trevor Oakes, and he actually played single A over here in California. He got picked up by the Dodgers, played single A, and then he got traded. He was on the Royals, And then he got traded, and now he's on the Giants, as a matter of fact, and he's pitching for them. Yeah, and I'm like super excited for him. But yeah, his name is Trevor Oaks, and like I said, if you guys ever cross paths with him, he's such a great guy, good young man, and he's from my school, Cal Baptist University, CBU. So he's
nice.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and it's just awesome to think. I mean, CBU pushes out baseball players like left and right, so like it's really cool that I have that type of connection there. But that's super cool. Like anyway, going back to that though, I think that's really awesome, and seriously, you're gonna enjoy it. Like you're right now, not having anything to do, you're gonna be able to knock out classes left and right like me right now. I can't believe I'm so ahead of my work right now.
Right? It's like a nice little blessing there.
It's so true. With every with some kind of negative, there's always some kind of blessing that comes with it. So I'm just really happy. It's so true, and God is great, and that's how I see it, and that is amazing. So with that said, oh my gosh, this has been probably one of my favorite times on being on air in the last 5.5 years. Seriously, this has been fun. Like,
yes, thank you for having me. I like being on the flip side of my job, so I enjoyed it. And anytime you want me back, I'll be here. And Ty also said give him a shout because he loves doing this kind of stuff too.
Well, trust me. With that said, yes, Ty. Everybody, once again, but we hit the applause button. Sam Green, she is awesome, and of course, big shout out to Mr. Ty Buttrey. He is somebody who I have so much faith in this guy to really help out the Angels organization, and I am cheering him on as well as the rest of the Angels. I am so excited that both of you are in California. You're loving it. You're enjoying being a part of the organization, and trust me, you may see me because I'm there all the time. So hopefully we get baseball this year, and I will definitely be in those stands cheering on those guys and just loving every minute of it. So it has been a great.
Absolutely, hope to meet you guys in person for sure.
I would love to as well. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, get on over to YouTube. Do it. I know you're listening. I know you're listening right now. Get on over to YouTube. Type in Behind the Lights, and you should pop up. But if it doesn't, just type in Sam Green after that. You will see Miss Sam Green. You will see her channel, and please subscribe, show her some love because she deserves every bit of it. And with that said, Sam, would you like to throw any other shout outs, anything else you'd like to say, promote anybody, anything? The floor is yours.
No, I'm thankful for the shout out for my channel, could use some love so early on, so I really appreciate it. Just thankful for everybody that got me here, and thankful that you guys saw interest in me. So thanks for having me.
You are very welcome, and we're happy that you saw interest in us to want to be a part of this, to be on today's show. So with that said, once again, Miss Sam Green, you have been amazing. We thank you so much for being on today's show, and I honestly look forward to having you back as soon as we can, and hey, maybe even Ty one day. I mean, hey, we appreciate you.
Reach out to him. He always says yes to these things. He loves these opportunities. So yeah, he'll be on here.
I will. Oh my gosh, I would love to, and that'd be fun to have you guys together on here. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, do a little marriage trivia.
oh boy. Oh boy.
Anything you guys need, though, for sure. I really appreciate it.
Hey, you're very welcome. The same thing with us. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have you a wonderful, blessed day. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
You guys too. See you hopefully when baseball season starts.
Yes, ma'am. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, that was Miss Sam Green. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. That was so much fun. I enjoyed the heck out of that. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, y'all, it would not be possible. Well, number one, it would not be possible at all without number one above all, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, nothing is possible. That's right, y'all. And of course, all of you listeners out there, because without you listeners, we wouldn't be nothing, y'all. We wouldn't be anything to listen to. No, actually, nobody would be listening to us. We wouldn't be IE Sports Radio without y'all. And of course, I gotta give a big shout out to our booking agent, man. This guy has been busting his hump, man. Mr. Jonathan. He's the real deal, man. He's the real deal. Couch Crew Chief is about as awesome as it gets. I appreciate this guy so much for what he's done and who he's brought on the channel, who he's brought on the station. Now I'm saying channel, but be ready, y'all. I mean, so far in the last couple of days, let me just go ahead and throw this out there, y'all. This was, this has been a great couple of weeks. We had on a couple of weeks ago, of course, Mr. Mike Harmon. That was a lot of fun on the Extra Mile when Caitlin and both Caitlin and Mr. Daryl Kinsey Jr. went ahead and interviewed him. That was a lot of fun. He is a great guy. That was an awesome interview, hearing him from Mike Harmon Racing, of course, Mike Harmon himself. We also had last week, that was 2 weeks ago. Last week, we had NASCAR driver Mr. Quinn Houff, and Houff is, that guy is cool. Like, I want to be his friend. Like, he's a great guy. Like, he's a really down-to-earth, super cool guy. They talked about his experience on iRacing, since NASCAR's pretty much, done anything that could cling on to racing, so that was really cool. But that was a really cool interview. Of course, today with Miss Sam Green here on The Defining Moment. And then Thursday, stay tuned, we are going to have NASCAR driver Jeb Burton coming on the show to talk with Mr. Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Miss Caitlin Seam. That's going to be so much fun. And I am excited. I am so stoked for this, and I am ready to rock and roll. So, with that said, y'all, we had plenty of fun today. I think that was so much fun, and I just want to give a big shout out and thank you once again to Miss Sam Green. She is amazing. That was so much fun talking with her and hearing the different sides of baseball and everything there, and I thought it was just really big. That was a really big interview, and I really enjoyed every bit of it. So, Mr. Taryn in the room says here, what's going on, Taryn? He says, okay, well, it looks like we have our Olympics now taking place. So, Taryn, thank you for the update. It says here, Olympic Games will take place on July 23rd through August 8th, 2021. So, the Olympics are officially postponed. Once again, it's for the greater good, but I'm just hoping that baseball doesn't go anywhere, and I hope we get football this year. I just hope we don't lose everything. It would kind of suck to lose everything, but if we do, once again, it's for the greater good, y'all, but let's just keep hoping and praying that we continue to have it. So, with that said, y'all, make sure to go on to our website and check us out at iSportsRadio. You know what? No. We're gonna do this in style. Y'all already know what's coming. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to bring it home. It's been a fun one. Oh, yes. It's been a fun one. I'll tell you. Miss Sam Green was as cool as the other side of the pillow. And talking to her today about her husband, Ty, and talking about every bit of the baseball world, ins and outs, and all around. That was a lot of fun. Got to give her a big shout out and a thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sam Green. Guys, show some love. Get on over to YouTube right now. Go do it. You get yourself on over there. My voice is cracking and everything right now. You hear that? Get on up over there and subscribe on YouTube. Behind the Lights with Sam Green. Also, jump on over to iSports Radio, y'all. iSportsRadio.com. We are your direct feed for all that is sports. That's right. We are bringing you the latest in everything we can at the moment. Because, well, there's no sports. But we're going to do our best to satisfy your sports hunger. And that's just how we're going to do it. Be looking forward to many great guests coming along. If you'd like to know more, get on over to iSports Radio and check out our upcoming guest page. See who's coming. And of course, you see all the guests that we've formerly had, our previous guest page. We'll be giving shout-outs to them as well and showing them love. Y'all know the drill. Okay, y'all. With that said, that's going to do it for today's show. It was a fun one. Oh, it was a fun one. We got a little teeny bit of sports in there, but really not much to get into. Next week, we'll have a little more. But we also look forward to having many more guests. So, if you like today's show, if you like what we have to offer here at iSports Radio, show us some love. Oh yeah, baby. Show us a little love. Get on over to Twitter on iSports Radio. Well, get over to Twitter and type in iSports Radio. Give us a follow. Get on over to Instagram. Check us out at iSports Radio as well. Give us a follow. Hey, we'll have to follow back too. Also, get on over to Facebook. Type in iSports Radio. Give us a like. We certainly like that. Check us out at iSportsRadio.com. Yeah. Check out all the upcoming events we got coming up, upcoming guests, upcoming everything. Events will be happening until sports come back, but it's all good. Check us out. Check out the Reppin' page. Reppin' iSports Radio from all over the place. If you would like a shirt, let me know. Hey, we got them. They're here. That's how we do things, y'all. And we appreciate you. Check us out on LinkedIn as well. We are on LinkedIn. We're all over the place on platforms. Everywhere. We're on SoundCloud. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Play. We're on TuneIn. We are, my gosh, everywhere. Everywhere you can find a podcast. Well, we're trying to get almost everywhere, but we're a lot of places. So, with that said, y'all, that is gonna do it for today's show. This has been me, your boy Larry B. You can follow me on Twitter at VTHEE_LB53. You can also follow us once again as a whole at iSports Radio on Twitter, on Instagram, and give us a like on Facebook if you'd like. We certainly like that. Y'all know the drill. With that said, I'm gonna go ahead and clear the floor because it's coming up at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Let's whine about sports with Mr. Mike Pat. It was a lot of fun to lead off the week this week. And next week, Mr. Davison Crooks and Mr. Notarius Locke will be back with the Locke and Crooks Southern Sports Podcast leading off the week on Sunday. This week they took a little break. This week was a lot of fun to lead off, so I was a leadoff man, y'all. Hopefully I did a good job. With that said, y'all, I will catch y'all next week. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.